Muhammadu Buhari has met with state governors elected on the platform of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) behind closed doors at the presidential villa, Abuja. A presidency source who spoke to journalists said the item on the agenda of the meeting is how governors would work towards the emergence of former Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole as the party's national chairman. The party's national convention, where new members of the party's national working committee will emerge, has been slated for May 14 in Abuja. The 24 governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress (APC) have announced that their endorsement of President Muhammadu Buhari's candidature for the 2019 presidential race. Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha made the position of the governors known to journalists after a closed-door meeting with the president at the presidential villa, Abuja. Okorocha said that they communicated the support for the president's re-election bid at the meeting, adding that the issue of the forthcoming convention and congresses was discussed in order to make it hitch-free. Meanwhile, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says he is not desperate to become Nigeria's president in 2019. The Waziri of Adamawa said this during an interview with BBC House Morning program. He noted that if Nigerians can follow his political antecedent, they will not see him as a desperate politician. According to Abubakar, if he is desperate, he wouldn't have stepped down for MKO Abiola in the 1993 presidential race. The former vice president further said he would have become Nigeria's president in 2003 when virtually all the state governors then rallied support for him to contest, which he declined. Ahead of the 2019 general elections, stakeholders in the country have raised alarm over the proliferation of political parties. The calls on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to oppose an amendment of the 1999 Constitution and Electoral Act to ensure only parties with reasonable popular support have access to contest the elections. Convener of the Nigeria Election Working Group, Professor Adele Jinodu, who disclosed this to journalists in Abuja, decried the proliferation and called for an immediate solution.
In the light of the foregoing observations, the Nigeria Election Working Group resolved as follows. 1. The number of political parties registered in the country is becoming excessive, and INEC has no legal basis to constrain the process because of successive Supreme Court judgments have compelled INEC to register almost all applicants.
Voters not to be discouraged from participating in the elections next year.
In the build-up to the June 16 council election in Rivers State, delegates of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ekwere local government area came out en masse to vote party flag bearers for the 2019 council poll. After the conclusion of voting, the immediate past publicity secretary of PDP, Samuel Nwanosike, was unanimously voted as the party's chairmanship candidate. Nwanosike won the primary by scoring a total of 255 votes. Returning officer Professor Otuboyedia Obianime commended the people for their peaceful conduct.
Let us give thanks to God that we are in an atmosphere of joy, happiness, peace, and no rancor whatsoever. In some places they are breaking heads because of vote, but here we can see everybody is moving around, shaking one another in peace.
Chairmanship candidate of the PDP, Samuel Nwanosike, told journalists that the issue of security, education and welfare of the people will be his priority once elected.
We encourage our young ones to go into sporting, we encourage our young ones to go into academics, we make sure
that will rebuild a lot of the primary schools that have been abandoned by previous administration, because the state government cannot do it all. The little things we can do to support the state government, we will do them. We also make sure that those who live in the Ikwere local government have a reason to be happy that yes, there's a government that's working for them.
A total of 290 delegates participated in the PDP primary elections, which recorded 260 valid votes and 4 invalid votes.
And now the All Progressives Congress, APC, has inaugurated the Screening and Appeal Committees for aspirants contesting the May 5 primary to elect the party's standard bearer for the 2018 Ekiti State governorship election. The party's national organizing secretary, Osita Uzunaso, who inaugurated the committee, said the screening is mandatory for all aspirants. Uzunanso said the committees would rely on the party's 2014 guidelines for the nomination of candidates for public office in carrying out the assignment. Members of the screening committee are Temipre Silva, Dentin Ogbohi, Samaila Yusuf, Amina Gamawa, Ayo Afolabi, Biyamin Shinkafi, and Mohammed Mustafa. Away from electoral matters, Senator Dino Malaye is said to be in the intensive care unit of Zangli Hospital opposite the Ministry of Power Works and Housing, Mabushi in Abuja. The embattled lawmaker representing Kogi West was arrested yesterday morning from his residence in Abuja following the police siege on his house that started Monday afternoon. But the lawmaker, who later gave himself to police for arrest, had issues with the security operatives on their way to Kogi State, contrary to the wish of the lawmaker. Eyewitness account says the lawmaker was injured as a result of his refusal and struggle with the armed policemen inside the police van on their way to Kogi High Court.
This morning, I saw at the area, I won't know about I just saw the team of police that was leading. I don't know where they're actually taking him to. I don't know where they are taking the civil senator to. But I just heard shoot. Then I saw crowd. The next thing we saw the man on the floor. And then people gathered, and then some people just move, and that was how we left the place. But the point is, this is Nigeria, this is our country. I don't know why we got to where we are now. I don't know where we got to where we are. Yeah. I don't know whether they shoot him, whether they push him out of the vehicle, or what actually transpired. But I know that I saw mammoth crowd in the one about that was saying, this man, you cannot do anything, and you cannot do anything to this man, and they move him from there. We just saw them taking him in just now, so we don't know the situation now. He has been moved to emergency theater.
Malaye has been objecting to the decision to either be arrested by the Kogi Police Command or arraigned before the Kogi High Court on security grounds, which reportedly pitched him against the law enforcement agents. The fear of Malaye's safety was heightened following a lingering political difference he has been having with Governor Yahaya Bello of his home state. 6th Division of Nigerian Army, Port Harcourt, has started its sporting week. The inter-information sports competition is set to test the physical, mental, and intellectual abilities of soldiers and officers of the Army. A General Officer commanding GOC the division, Major General Musa Yusuf, charged soldiers to imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship and compete with honor, which would help during combat operations.
The sport week is an important period in this formation's calendar. Conducted among other physical benefits, bring formation under the Deep Together to compete and showcase their level of endurance, physical fitness, and also identify sportsmen that will represent the Deep at the Nigerian Army sports level coming up later in the year.
Highlighting the significance of the competition, Air Vice Marshal Okechukwu Utukogo said the competition is aimed at improving the team spirit, endurance and spirit of cooperation amongst troops.
This morning, I saw at the area I want to know about. I just saw the team of police that was leading.
Training is the hallmark of military profession. Hence, you must take it very seriously at all levels. I want to use this medium to encourage all participants to embrace the spirit of sportsmanship. Another is spirit of Olympic, which is participation. It's better than winning at all costs. Be fair, free from drugs, free from enhancing performance enhancer.
Inter-formation sports competition will include sports like football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, among others. A federal high court sitting in Katsina has ordered that the former governor Ibrahim Shema be remanded in EFCC custody until April 27 for alleged money laundering. Shema is standing trial before the court for allegedly misappropriating about 5.7 billion naira Shopee funds during his tenure. During the proceedings, the defense counsel Emmanuel Ukala told the court that they had filed a bail for application on April 18. The prosecution counsel Sam Olugun Narisa, however, objected to the application, saying that the court cannot take bail cognizance because the court does not assume jurisdiction. If you have just joined us, you're watching Superscreen News at 10. We'll take a short break here. More news after this timeout. To stay.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice. At least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigerian government are keeping quiet. Herdsmen are killing people. Why? It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family. You are affecting my village. Let me use if I call it useless, I'm not a mistake. The other place where they build a shop, call it plaza. Each shop got 4 million naira. So I don't have the money, so I have to leave. If you plan to get a tribal mark, it takes a lot of pain, but after some time, you enjoy it. No, we experience hold up now during the construction time. Then after some time, we start enjoying it. The way they are doing the construction is too slow. It's too slow. The construction is too slow. They should stop the construction and make sure people go into their businesses and do their businesses.
Well, it's so glad to have you back. Now in business world, Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, says the federal government has not done enough in the area of maintenance of infrastructure across the country. The minister disclosed this while receiving an award of recognition from the Association of Indigenous Construction Contractors of Nigeria. The minister, in a statement issued by Special Advisor in Communications, Hakeem Bello, said that another area where massive scope existed for partnership was in the maintenance sector, adding that the ministry was already working on setting up an infrastructure maintenance framework. The Director General, DG, of the National Identity Management Commission, Aliyu Aziz, says it cannot produce national identity cards for everyone who enrolled for it, despite huge public clamor for it. According to the Commission, national identity cards are ready mainly for people who enrolled in 2012 and 2013. It also said that the Commission is adopting a first-come, first-served approach. The DG explained that the figures of the agency for the next 3 years will be on the national identification number and not on the card. On her part, a General Manager of Legal Regulatory and Compliance Services, an IMC, Hadiza Ali Dagabana, said that once the commission begins the national identity card, it will penalize any organizations that refuse to acknowledge it as a valid form of identification in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government says its internally generated revenue for the first quarter of 2018 is of 103.476 billion naira as against 96.7 billion naira recorded in 2017. The Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Segun Banjo, disclosed this during the ministry's conference to mark the third year in office of Governor Akinwumi Ambote's administration in Alausa, Ikeja. Banjo said in terms of total revenue generation, 141 billion naira was generated as total revenue against 124.141 billion naira achieved in 2017. He also said that this year's first quarter performance was 17.816 billion naira, which is higher than the previous year's performance. You're still watching Superscreen News at 10, or we'll take another short break here, and when we return, we'll bring you news on the foreign scene and then sports. Join us again.